Hey everybody, Kimberly here, and I am thrilled to bring you the first expansion to Apiary, which I have to say, if you're a fan of the channel, you know I really like. I mean, it topped my charts last year for a reason, and so yes, super excited about all the different adjustments, changes, and additions to Apiary with Expanding the Hive. This again is that first expansion. I'm going to tell you everything that's in that expansion and how it makes Apiary, the base game, even better than I thought it could be, because it's a dynamite game. So the basic mechanics of Apiary ask players to take control of a hive and have a faction that gives them a start, ability, and resources that will generate something really cool for their particular player angle. Now what they do too is they have these worker bees that are a value 1 to 4, and they'll send out these worker bees one at a time in turn order out to the board. And the board has all these different action places that you could activate depending on the strength of your bee. And so you'll be probably farming, recruiting, getting developments. A lot of these are tiles that you take and then place onto your hive. You could get carvings, get these cards that allow you to really modify the choices you make on your turn. But what you're going to do is place out a bee on your turn or collect all your bees. And if you have a level 4, they hibernate. And that's a really, really cool action. So that's the base, game flow and mechanic and really what's going on in the game. So what I want to do now is talk to you about the changes and the additions with Expanding the Hive. So the first thing is that you're going to get all these hive mats. And the hive mats, again, are going to provide bonuses for players when they place a tile over something. They're going to be able to reserve one of those carving tiles. And reserve is a new ability that allows you to kind of reserve something without building it or having the requirements at first. So the as does that really, really well. It allows you to reserve those types of cards or tiles. There's 4 types. Gaining resources and cards, gaining that particular crown symbol, which is going to be your favor or queen's favor. You've got the top bar. This is another one that you're going to get here. And I really like this one too, because when you build here, one of those bonuses, it's a 4-tile space that expands your hive into an adjacent space for free. And I'll be talking about that in just a second, about how not only do you have these, this is going to be the base 4-tile frame that you can put adjacent to expand your hive. These were removed for this expansion, and there are other tiles or these frames that you're going to be adding that will make the game more than just grabbing a card whenever you put a tile over that space. Here, you've got all this opportunity for transmuting or changing one particular resource to another. This is the smith. Fantastic opportunities here, which definitely gives you an advantage that other players may not have. Here you've got the hexagon, and you've got your starting tile, which everything has been there. This has some reserving. This one's really about carving. And then here, once per game, when all the surrounding hexes are full, place 1 from your reserve here for free or gain the honey. I mean, wow, just really, really cool. Cool options. I mean, these are just, again, dynamite. It really changes your focus and your goal for the game. The national gives you resources, and then it lets you do these actions, and you essentially get to do them as part of your placement of the tile. Just fantastic. This is your collecting all of your resources, your kind of like arrow symbol opportunities. The gum is second to last, allows you to plant, which is another great thing. You're going to be able to plant seed cards down at the bottom of your hive, your card. Trading out resources for cards, again, really great. And the last one is the lands. This is the last one that you're going to get, and this gives you the chance to do a lot of conversion and then otherwise getting resources. So those are going to be the brand new 7 hive mats that you get. Next up is going to be the 15 frames. Remember how I said these frames right here, they're identical. They're identical, doesn't matter what side you're on, and there were a ton of them. And what they did was they said, nope, not those anymore. Every single frame now is unique. So this one is going to have those Queen's Favor. This one's going to have resources on it. This one's going to have gaining those worker bees at stage level 1. This allows you to plant. This allows you to change out or go from one to the other. These are going to be Explore tokens that you just nab from the pile of tokens. These are just one of the 3 basic resources that you get. Turning things in for other things. I mean, you see that now there are tons and tons and tons of options. Just straight up victory points if you want victory points. Get a little honey pot. Yeah, get the other one. What is that one? The square one. Wax, and then honey. This is a resource, cards, and then you just get some Queen's Favor. These are all the brand new frames, and they are all unique and all different. Yes, yes, yes. Major upgrade. I love it. I love the brand new hive mats and the frames. I mean, that alone is just enough to really revolutionize your play and to give you more of that like versatility and that starting strategy and focus. But then we've got even more. We've got seed cards. So these are 15 of these seed cards. I talked about planting seeds and using cards. Cards can always be just one resource that you want. If you're missing a resource, you can play it as the text at the top, or you can tuck it under your board and it becomes planted and you get victory points at the end of the game. You'll always be able to tell your expansion down here at the bottom because they continue the numbering of the system, but then it says E. So these are all brand new, fantastic expansion bonuses. When you have new scorings at the bottom, you've got the new content at the top, and of course you've got that wild resource. So this just expands. You just shuffle all of these cards into the existing deck, and now you've got all of these extra opportunities. Yes, and yes, and yes. So these are going to be the seed cards. There is a new faction. Now, there were a bunch of factions, so Sidoni is the brand new faction. This is going to be that start tile that you place onto your hive mat. It says here the first 4 times you acquire a frame, activate one of its build bonuses. You start with a bee at 2, a worker bee at 1. You're also going to start with one of those fibers and one of the waters, and you're going to have this as your capacity for storing all of your items. And if you see 2, you can put one or the other in those spaces. So this is the new faction, and then you actually replaced 2 others. You replaced Sekiro and, this is the upgraded side. You replaced Sekiro and Artie. These were in the game before, but these have been modified, and so these are more balanced. I know that every time any Stonemaier game comes out, I'm thinking of like Tapestry and the civilizations that are in there. There is an adjustment or updates that make these balanced with other, factions in the game. And that's why you get these. So make sure that you replace these and put these in the box and then take out the others. And so you're going to have those 3, 2 upgraded, 1 brand new. So those are going to be your factions. You've also got, moving on to the tiles, 2 brand new recruits, or actually 4 brand new recruits and then 2 that are replacements. So these are going to be the 4 brand new recruits that you get that add to the deck. And you're going to see down here, there is the cost that you've got down there. So it's going to be 2 pollen just to get those. The victory point's going to be in the corner. And then you're going to see that you have the action here. So there's a convert and a grow action. And these are whenevers. So every time you do that thing, make sure that you gain your wax or you gain the victory points. Or every time you do this, you gain a free resource. So these are the new 4 ones that you get. And then these are going to be the replacements. So take out your old pharmacist, take out your old engineer, and you're going to put these guys in here. So the old one, for example, said, for research, you may retrieve 1 bee and then collect 1 of your gain resources. And here it says you may retrieve a different bee, +1 strength, and then collect 1. So slight changes there. It does have more victory point value, but is the same in investment or cost at the beginning. So make sure that you replace those two, and you're going to have those guys in there as well. There are 3 new carvings. These are your yellow tiles. And again, you're going to see that it's got that E. So you're always going to know that those are the expansion tiles, and you're just going to add these straight into those options for carvings. It just gives you more flexibility. I love this. 7 victory points if you taught a dance. Yes, and I'm coming up to the new dance cards that you get in this. 5 points per adjacent empty space that has a build bonus. Great. Again, these are the cost 1, 2, and 3 for your honey. And then 4 victory points per space on your hive mat with no tile. Exclude all of your frames. So this really wants you to keep your hive mat kind of empty of tiles. Very cool. Those are going to be those tiles. Then you've got 5 developments. These are going to be your kind of peachy colored or your orangey colored tiles. And again, you see the E, all of them are there. These all cost wax. They have their victory points in the corner. And then when you buy them, you're going to, it says here, it says immediately purchase 1 carving for a cheaper price. Yes, please. I'm almost positive I got this when I played through. And then gain honey per adjacent lightning symbol. You've got your lightning symbol right there in the corner. These are really, really dynamite. So those are the 5 new tiles for that. You also are going to get 4 farms. These are going to be, again, more tiles, but you have the E, and these are your green tiles. These are going to be your farms that generate, every time you saw that go around symbol, arrow, that's when you generate all of your resources, and you're going to essentially receive what it says up here, because you purchase down here, victory points on the side, and now it becomes a holder for resources. It has capacity for a variety of types. So these new tiles added to the collection. Now let's look at those dance cards. There are 3 new dance cards, or dance tiles, and I really like the new dance tiles, and I really like the new dance tokens. That, to me, is another major upgrade from the base game. So this one has you dance with water, pollen, and fiber and something else, and then you get it over here. So for example, you would just sift through the pile. There were 9 originals. You can say fiber and seeds, and then what you gain at the end is wax. So you just put those in as substitutes for the dotted lines. But I really like these new ones, and I like the new tokens that you get as your options. So before we had just basics of favor, water, honey, victory points, pollen, and wax and things like that. Here are the new guys. You can pay discovery tokens. You can pay or gain victory points. You can pay or gain any of those Queen's Favor and any resource of your choice. And this one has a honey or a wax. So these are the 6 new ones that you're going to get, that you're going to add to your options for how you configure your dances, which is fantastic. You're going to replace the 2 card for these Explore tokens, and you're going to put a 1 in. So now there's no chance for anyone to ever gain 2 seed cards as the pile that you draw from. And then these are going to be the 4 new Explore tokens that allow you to bump up a bee from, let's say, a 2 to a 3, or here, bump up. You can bump down, maybe a 4 to a 3, and then bump it back up again. And then you can have just a gain a bee at level 1. And so these are going to be those Explore tokens. Just amazing. I mean, I just absolutely adore it. So that is going to be it. That's everything that you're going to get in that expansion. And there are clear instructions in the complete appendix and Expanding the Hive rulebook that will walk you through what to initially set up when you take out particular items and tokens and cards and things and replace them with, or what you just simply add. So add everything else, and everything is very clearly labeled with that E, with the exception of the tokens. But there's so much to like here. I think the dance, adding the new dance tokens for flexibility in the resources that you have or the ones that you're looking for, dynamite. I love the brand new dances, dynamite. And then I think that the new factions and the new hive tiles, I think the cards and the tiles are just really, really great. The frames couldn't have had a better idea. Again, for the flexibility, it's not just getting a seed card anymore on these two spaces specifically. It was always the same thing every time you did a frame. Well, not anymore. Now you have all these really different options. You have all these different things available to you. And it's, again, just so cool. So, makes the game a little bit more flexible in what you're getting, what you're spending, and then what you can actually spend all of your great stuff on with some brand new tiles for all 4 of the places that give you tiles. Just so cool, just so cool. Expanding the Hive, didn't know I needed it. Now I love it, and I think it really does address some of the restrictions in the original game that to some degree I didn't realize were there until I was given the option of having some flexibility. And so I think that's a fantastic adjustment. And as with everything, Stonemaier Games really likes to adjust and kind of perfect the balance that's in every game that comes out by them. And so I think that this expansion is a really lovely attempt at doing that. And by really giving you quite a bit of material that you add to your game box, and let me tell you, everything fits perfectly. You think everything has the shape for all of its stuff. Not a single thing goes higher than the capacity for the all the different trays and the different spaces. So just again, really thoughtful design ahead of time to create that space for expanding and adding more content to the game without ruining the insert for the original base game. So you will just add everything to the game box and it will fit perfectly, and everything is just fantastic. So again, can't say enough great things about Apiary's first expansion, Expanding the Hive. Double, triple, quadruple thumbs up. This is coming out. Now, again, I mean, I've played through this and I just can't wait to keep exploring the content, because a lot of times you shuffle these into stacks and then you don't always get to some of that expansion material in the first couple games that you play. So, still loving it, still really enjoying all of the brand new factions and hives in particular. Okay, that's going to be it for me, folks. I'll see you later. Bye.